Hi guys, it's Roxy and this is my Genogram presentation. Okay, so here's my genogram. I actually broken down into smaller parts so that it could be easier to understand, and those parts are going to be displayed in the next slides. However, before going into those slides, I want to talk about the interviews I had for this project. The two people I interviewed were my parents, so my mom and my dad, and we talked about their family of origin, our nuclear family, their experience during their childhood, and these are all things that I'm gonna go more into detail during the next slides as we talk about them. The experience that I had, conducting these interviews was a good one. We reminisce about the past, and even though I didn't really learn anything new, it was sort of a refreshment course with my family because there were things that I had already forgotten. Okay, so to begin with, here on the left side we can see my paternal grandfather, and he was born in 1929, so he's 83, and we can see that this line is connected to Berta Samira Gamarra, and that means that they are married, and they got married 1953. Also, it's important to notice that here on my grandma's circle, there's a little purple triangle, and that just means that she has diabetes. So my grandparents had 7 children, and the first one, all the way to the left right here, was Maria Matilda Soriano. Um, the same day that she died, the same day that she was born, she actually died, and that's why inside her circle it says 0 days, because she died of medical complications that same day. That's why there's also an X across her name. So the next child my grandparents had was Jose del Carmen Soriano. Then they went to my aunt Ana, and then my father was born on 1957. Then my grandparents had 3 more children. We can see that my dad has a good relationship with all of his siblings, which is depicted by the green lines right here. He also has a good relationship with his mother. However, he has a distant relationship with his father, and that is what this little line, this dashed line means. So that's my dad's side of the family. So now let's go to my mom's side of the family. Right here is my maternal grandfather. We can see that he has an X across his square, and that's because he died 2010. Also, he has a little light blue square inside of his square, and that just means that before he died, he had Alzheimer's. So that's a significant loss to the family. My grandfather died about 2.5 years ago due to complications from Alzheimer's, and that hit my mom really hard, and that's actually something that we talked about during the interview. We can see that by this line right here, he was married to my grandma, Luisa Raquel Martinez, and this X just means that the marriage ended in their case because my grandfather died. So my grandparents had 5 biological children. So the first one was Oscar Lostaura Martinez. He was born in 1956, and then my mother was born after. She's the first girl of the family. She was born in 1957. Then my grandparents had another girl, my aunt Elizabeth, my aunt Maria Teresa, and then lastly my uncle Luis. Another significant loss was the death of my aunt Maria Teresa, which is right here. We can also see that she has an X across her circle, and also we can see that inside her circle there's a little blue triangle, and that is for depression. She actually died. Um, she committed suicide because she was suffering from depression. Before she died, my aunt had a child, and after she passed away, my grandfathers adopted him, which is actually what this dashed blue line means. So they adopted Edu Perea Taunao, and he became like a brother to my mom, even though he was really a nephew to my mom. So then at the end, we can see my parents right here. They were born the same year. My mom is a little bit younger than my dad, but they were born in the same year. And this green line right here means that they are very much in love. This green line with the circles, that's what it means. That's what it means. Okay, so now this is my family of origin. I already talked about my parents and how they are still together. They got married in 1984, and soon after they had their first child, my older brother, Carlos Soriano. He was born 1985, and we can see how he already has his own family. He got married in 2009 to Carolina Soriano, and they already have one kid, Maxi Soriano. He was born 7 months ago, and that's actually a dog, which is what this little diamond means. Then I was born in 1988, and I'm gonna talk more about my little family on the next slide. The next child my parents had was my sister Claudia Veronica Soriano in 1990, and then my little brother Rodrigo Soriano in 1995. Also, 2 years ago, my parents adopted a golden retriever, and that is their last child that they had. So that's Chuck Soriano. We call him Chucky. And he actually came in 2010. If you guys remember, that's when my grandfather died. And we got him because my dad thought it would be a good idea to get a dog so that my mom, in order to cheer up my mom a little bit. So we can see that all these lines, we can see that we all have great relationships with each other. I am very close to everyone in my family, especially close to my little sister, which is what this line means. We can also see that my brother is in love with his wife, and also this little sign right here means that we have been exposed to multiple cultures because we were raised both in Peru and also here, all of us. That's what those little squiggly lines mean. Alright, so this is my last slide, and this actually this slide is actually about the newest addition to my family. So we can see here that I am married to Jose Alberto Tota. We got married in 2012, and we also had our first child that same year. This diamond means that it's our pet, but we treat him as our son, Lucas Chinitota. He's an American Bulldog, and he's 7 months old. I also included my in-laws, so my husband's side of the family. Here we can see his parents. They're still together. They got married in 1984, and they had 3 children. So my husband has an older brother who is also married, and we can see that last year they went through a miscarriage, which was something that actually we all went through. It was very significant to all of us since we are really close to both Felix and Anne. And also my in-laws had a little girl, Roxana Maria Tota. So we actually, if you guys notice, we actually share the same name, the exact same name. So we also can see here that we all have good relationships with each other. And we cannot see it here, but my husband also has great relationships with everyone in my family, which I think is what helps my marriage so much, because I don't think my marriage will still be going strong if my husband didn't get along with my family, or if my family didn't get along with my husband, because they are both such important parts of my life. Well, that is it. Thanks for watching.